Hey everybody, it's a little Gnome. I'm going to do something a little different today, fresh topic. This is actually going to be sort of a tutorial or discussion of how to accessorize your look for the casual alternative look. Particularly if you're into if you're into punk or goth, you're part of the punk subculture, or goth subculture, or both. Like myself, I keep one foot in each subculture. Um, But a lot of people are concerned about how to dress, how to look, what sort of way they want to present themselves and how they want to express themselves. And of course, dressing up the way you want, expressing yourself the way you want is a big part of, it's obviously a wonderful thing. It's a big part of subcultures in general. But um, so a lot of people in both communities like to dress a certain way and present themselves a certain way. It's not required, both goth and punk are music-based subcultures, so you really don't have to wear. You can wear whatever you want and still be part of the subcultures. But most people like to dress in a way that affiliates himself with the subcultures. The thing is, some people have this idea that you must dress elaborately every time in order to represent the subculture. And of course, you can always do that if you want. You're free to do that, but not everybody wants to do that. I mean, I don't dress very elaborately anymore. I used to do that when I was younger, but when I got older, I realized I favored comfort and convenience more than I did, I guess, fashion. So I had begun to adapt my looks to something more casual and more relaxed and laid back. But there's ways you can do this in a way, and then there's ways you can do this that are relatively simple and probably more cost effective ultimately. There's this idea that you must have expensive clothing to represent subcultures these days. And it's really strange when you consider that originally when the punk scene got started and the goth scene got started out of the punk scene, um, most of the fashion aesthetic was DIY. You took bits and pieces of whatever you had around you and just kind of constructed a look based on that. Um, I grew up during a time where that partially transitioned away from DIY. There were vendors that popped up that catered to different alternative tastes, but um, DIY never went away. And as I got older, I kind of went back to that DIY ethos in terms of constructing my look, especially since I wasn't really interested in presenting myself in an over the top way. So these are just a few things you can do to accessorize your day to day look um, that are not going to break your wallet. And if you favor comfort like me over aesthetics, you may thank me for this later. You might not. I don't know. This is not going to be the greatest tutorial, but it's something though. Take what you can get from it. Um, so let's go through some of these things. Let me get a sip of water because I always get nervous whenever I do these videos. I have allergies and the air quality is pretty bad in LA right now, but I do think nerves have something to do with why. Um, I have to cough more frequently when I try to do these videos. So, but I'm just clearing the air with that. Anyway, the first thing you'll notice is that I don't wear any makeup. I attend a lot of goth shows and stuff, but I don't really wear makeup. I used to dabble with it back in the day, but I figured, it's not really my thing. You don't have to wear makeup, but I just choose not to nowadays. But what I do to sort of, I guess, to sort of decorate my face anyway, in a subtle way, is I have facial piercings. I just wear facial jewelry that matches my personality. So, you don't have to have the most. If you do have facial piercings, you can always adorn them with stuff that's relatively inexpensive. My facial jewelry tends to be relatively inexpensive. Some people like to buy really expensive ornate stuff, and I like my facial jewelry to be Either fairly simple or, there's jewelry that looks like jewelry. I favor jewelry that looks like stuff, if that makes sense. So, I have a simple nose hoop right here. I've got stud earrings. I don't know if you can see them up close, but they're actually, try to get close. They're actually a skull and dagger. So I actually enjoyed those a lot. My partner got those for me. Thank you, babe. They're awesome. And my partner also got me one of my favorite pieces of jewelry. This is my one of my mustache septum rings. I have a lot of fun with this. I have two different ones. I'm actually going to show them to you, but they're unique. A lot of people, whenever I go places, a lot of people compliment the mustache nose ring. I guess it's not the most common thing to wear out there, but I have this right here. This one is it's black. I believe it's made out of stainless steel. I also have one that's just entirely metallic. So that one's also a lot of fun to wear. And I have another thing. This is a septum spike or a septum tusk. This one's actually made out of silver. I used to have a black one too, but unfortunately it started falling apart recently. But it lasted for years. This one's actually a really cool piece of jewelry as well. It's fairly unique, so this is one of the ways I express myself. I just like to wear unique facial jewelry. I'm not somebody who likes the spotlight, but I do like to put my own signature whenever I do go places. So that's one thing you could do. Where if you have piercings, find the jewelry that speaks to you, and where you enjoy the aesthetic of the jewelry. And all these were relatively inexpensive. This was actually the most expensive one I got, and I got it for about $12 on sale. But this normally goes for about $20 maybe, not counting shipping and handling. This is made out of silver. I believe these were about maybe about $10 at the time. Stainless steel, I believe. You don't have to get expensive jewelry in order to stand out and do your thing. So is that. I kind of like this black mustache today, so I'm gonna stick with this today. Also, so yeah, in place of makeup, if you don't want to wear makeup, or if you do wear makeup, you can always just find the jewelry that suits your face and suits your personality. And it can be relatively inexpensive, just as long as you have fun with it. So that's one way. Also, there are a lot of different. Last train of thought. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can wear obviously band T-shirts to represent bands you like. You can also wear corsets and stuff, but you can also wear plain T-shirts and kind of accentuate them in your own way. I mean, wearing just a plain black T-shirt, totally acceptable. I wear these at shows, but you can also throw in a few things to distinguish your look and throw a signal. What I like to do is I like to wear plain T-shirts and decorate them with band pins, buttons that represent bands that I like, with different logos and stuff. I'll show you a couple of them. Got two of my favorite bands right there. I got The Cure and I got the Ramones. Kind of show the duality of keeping one foot stereotypically in the punk community and one foot stereotypically in the goth community. But yeah, that's a cool way to do things. It's relatively inexpensive. The buttons, you can actually find them pretty, I don't want to say easily. You do have to do a little bit of research, but you can always Google buttons or pins with bands and artists that you like and see what this going price is from different vendors. Some of these I've gotten, I'll show you a collection I have. Some of these I've gotten for free over the years, and some of them I've actually purchased before. I think the most I've ever spent on a button was about $3. I've spent up to about $15 for a multi-pack. but that usually came with about 10 to 15 different buttons. So I'm going to show you a bit of my collection. Just give me 1 second. I have to cover up the lens for a bit and migrate over to a different part of my, I guess my layer. So this is a collection of a lot of my different band pins and buttons. So you can see a lot of different bands. You got this Big Cure one that my friend got for me. So technically I got that for free. This I actually got for free at a show that I went to. A lot of these I got through multi-packs, so you can see a lot of different band buttons I got, you know. Bauhaus, The Cure, several Cure ones. Got Joy Division. Got Bad Brains over here. I've got the Subhuman, so yeah, you can do these. You can always just pin a couple of them to plain clothing. You can decorate your handbags with it, your backpacks too, whatever you want to do. You can do those, you know, you can attach them to sort of represent your brand, and these will probably actually last you longer than a lot of t-shirts you get. And so yeah, I just want to put that out there as a fun, kind of low-key and relatively inexpensive alternative to buying expensive clothing. Okay, we're going to migrate back to another layer. So thank you for bearing with me. Another thing you can do, you can also accentuate your look with bracelets. You know, there's also chains and chokers. I do have some of those as well, some bracelets, some of them with spikes. Some are chains. That's always fun, if you're into that sort of thing. And some of them go pretty cheap. I've gotten them for as cheap as anywhere from $5 to $10. They last for a while too. You can also decorate your arms and wrists with bracelets. I'm going to show you one bracelet that I have right here. It's actually, I'm not sure what it's made out of. It looks like leather, but it might not be. It might be pleather. But you can get them out of all sorts of different materials. Some of them are made out of rubber. Some are made out of latex. But you can always do that just for a little extra accent to what you're trying to represent in your look. But yeah, these are just little ways you can accessorate your look that won't break the bank to kind of signal what your interests are, without necessarily having to spend a lot of money, without going over the top, and still maintaining comfort. So yeah, the casual punk, casual goth look, casual alternative look. It can be fun. It can be a bit of a signature itself. That's how I like to roll these days. So I hope you found something out of that. I hope you got some kind of insight that you find useful. If you do have questions, you can always contact me, leave comments. I hope you're all staying safe out there and that 2025 is going well for you all. Take care.